Okay, so please don't think you're gonna become a homesteader and you're not gonna always have something to do and you're ever gonna be able to put your feet up and say, ah, there's nothing to do. Because that's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So today there's like 50 million things that need to be done, but I'm trying to prioritize a couple of indoor projects because last week we worked on a big outdoor project and my body is still seriously trying to recuperate from just directing that project. You know, it's crazy. One of the things we did get done is that we got one of our roosters that needs to be cold butchered, and he is now sitting in the refrigerator on some cold salty water, and we're gonna use him to just restock up on our broth. So I'm gonna get that out and get him in this pot, and that's gonna start one of our projects. So I had also some things that I had been just putting aside for making some vegetable broth, but I'm gonna actually use that in here. And so what that is basically, I believe, is basically just leeks and red onions and yellow onion skins and things like that. I think I have some store-bought celery in the refrigerator. I'll get that and add a couple of those in here as well. I don't have any carrots, but that's okay. No, I'm good. Do I need you to do anything? I'm good. Let's get this going. Let's see, I'll have it up on high. Is that high? My numbers have faded. My letters have faded. Oh, nope, that's low. That's the wrong way. So let's wipe that off. There we go. There we go. Now we're in high. I filled it pretty full. I probably shouldn't have put that much water. But probably tonight I'll come back through and add a little bit of salt to that. I didn't add any seasoning to it, just the vegetables for now.
Well, I'll try and wait for you, but yeah.
Map. Now I need to get started on the, recognize that, ginger. I'm gonna need both of those for this one batch, but what I need to do is go ahead and get started on the fire cider for this year. We didn't make many hot peppers. Did we grow any hot peppers? No, I don't think we grew any. Oh, yes, we did grow a few that we overwintered. But what we have is I've gone and ordered some jalapenos because the level of heat these have seemed to be fitting. It's not overly hot and it's tolerable. So, and the ones that we overwintered, the peppers that we overwintered, are red habaneros, so yeah, a little bit too much. So I do still need to harvest some parsley and some rosemary for this, but since this is what I have for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this washed up, and then we'll get started. And what I can do is later, as I get when I get back outside, because it's pretty hot right now. The rosemary's in the hot tunnel. I'm gonna wash this though, and then later on this evening or tomorrow morning when I'm out there, I'll harvest the rosemary and some parsley to add to this. And the only thing I need to, oh, onions. Let's see. Okay, so of all of those items, I'm just gonna do this much, about this much here, and this 32 ounce jar, 24 ounce jar, sorry. So I'm just gonna get my cutting board, itty bitty cutting board, and this stuff is not gonna get chopped up like very thinly at all. It's not really necessary for, as long as this is going to sit, it's not necessary for it to be chopped up very finely. So alright, so I will put this lemon into quarters, and I see some that shred the ginger, but I'm not. I generally, last year when we started using this, I think we didn't get into it until around October or so, and we're at the end of August now. So if we get into it around the same amount of time, then that's a whole month that this could be marinating and infusing, and I think that's plenty of time to not have to worry about chopping these up very finely. So if you would like a tutorial as to what to do with making your fire cider, I will have a pop-up right about here. Yep, there's the video right there. I'm leaving the seeds in the jalapenos as well, and just cut them up about that size. I'm only gonna do 2 jalapenos. I don't know why I was thinking this was a 32-ounce jar. It's only 24, so I'm only gonna do 1 of those lemons, and I'm gonna do 2 of the jalapenos, and I'll probably do like 2 sprigs of parsley and 2 sprigs of rosemary. I'll probably stuff that down in there good. Past season, we didn't use this as like a preventative, prophylactically. We used it more or less if someone was starting to show signs of sickness. Then that's when we would take a few sips of it, and we would well, mostly we just shot it. We just did it like a shot, but we could have mixed it with honey. I did think a couple of times I did put a little honey and diluted it and made some tea out of it, but it works. It usually, if you can catch your cold or your sinus issues early enough, look at my little ponytail sticking out back there. If you can catch them early enough, then you will be okay. Usually you're not gonna advance into sickness. Now if it's gonna be something like COVID or the flu, just hunker down, and it will probably help to mitigate the symptoms. Let me go get the vinegar. Yeah, put the vinegar. All right, and we're just gonna cover everything up. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna see. Ooh, that's strong. Bragg's is the real deal. Voila. All done. So I'm gonna try to find another jar about, yep, there's one. I found another jar about this size, so I'm gonna go ahead and get more of this made and set aside. And I want to do, last year I messed up and didn't realize that we would actually be using, oh, that's gonna need to be rinsed out good. I didn't realize that it was going to be as useful as it was. And I mean, it was my first time making it. I'd heard all the stories, and some were good, some were bad, some were inconclusive. I just didn't know what to expect. And so now that I know, what I plan to do is to start at least one of these every 2 weeks throughout the cold and flu season, so that we have enough for us, but also if we have friends that get sick or get down and need a little boost, we can also have some to share. So I want to be able to do more sharing this time, because I had several customers reach out to us and they were like, hey, are you going to be selling that? And I was like, no, I'm not going to be selling it. Again, I didn't know what to expect, but for friends that may be in need, I'll be more than happy to give them some if they should need it. So in order to do that, you need to prepare to be able to give. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to go ahead and get this jar washed out really good. This doesn't have to be, I don't know if I said it in my last video when I did more details as to how much we were doing. This doesn't have to be one of those things where you sterilize everything. It doesn't have to be. This is a clean thing. But just make sure everything is clean at the very least. This jar was washed and I guess it was a little damp and the lid got put on it, so you have some condensation there. It has an interesting smell, but anyway, I'm gonna wash it out with some hot soapy water. And then I'm going to work on getting the next batch done. And then we'll start another project. These are nice. They hold 14 eggs each. And we have 3 of them. So generally the fridge is nice and stocked up on eggs. The ones that are in here, these are our small eggs. And these are medium eggs. So when we're doing the pickled eggs, I like to use small to medium size because they fit really nicely into jars. And for me, biting into a pickled egg, I don't want it to be like a jumbo or large size egg. Medium at the most. But I'm trying to stick with a medium. I just like saying that. Medium. Alright, let's get these in the pot to boil. And little trick that we found a couple of weeks ago. A couple of tablespoons or teaspoons of baking soda in your water. Whether they're fresh eggs or whether they have been in your fridge for a minute, as far as farm fresh eggs. Helps them peel near perfect. You just have to put it in at the beginning. The last time I forgot and they were about halfway through their boiling point. And then I put the baking soda in and it did nothing. So put it in at the beginning. Since there were only 2 jars, I used a stock pot to do the water bath canning in. These will be kept in a refrigerator and should keep up to 3 to 4 months. This broth is absolutely beautiful. I loved how nicely it came out, and it tastes great too. I wasn't able to get to canning it though this day. In fact, this broth stewed for about 48 hours total. We got it canned up a couple of days later, and it's okay. Sometimes you're not going to get everything you want done in one day. There's always so much to do, but guess what? It'll be there tomorrow. Just try to find joy and peace in what you're able to get done today. This is Sheena. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.